Hello and welcome to Cargo Shots from the Stat Trade Times. Powered by Group Concorde. Here's our pick of the best news shots that made the headlines this week.
Let's first round up the third quarter financial results announced this week. Lufthansa Cargo reported a 10% increase in earnings at $334 million for the third quarter on yields well above pre-COVID levels. Revenue increased 31% to $1.1 billion for the third quarter and was up 40% to $3.6 billion for the first 9 months. The volume of business was already back at around 90% of the pre-crisis level. Group revenue almost doubled compared to last year, up 93% to $10.2 billion. New York Stock Exchange listed the Boeing company reported a 4% increase in third quarter revenue of $16 billion on higher commercial volume. Global Services Quarter 3 revenue increased to $4.4 billion and operating margin increased to 16.5%, primarily driven by higher commercial services volume and favorable mix, partially offset by lower government services volume. For the first 9 months of the year, revenue declined 2% to $47 billion, net loss zoomed to $4.4 billion, and loss per share increased to $7.24. Defense, Space and Security third quarter revenue decreased to $5.3 billion and third quarter operating margin decreased to 52.7%, primarily due to $2.8 billion of loss on certain fixed price development programs driven by higher estimated manufacturing and supply chain costs as well as technical challenges. UPS reported a 4% increase in consolidated Quarter 3 2022 revenue at $24.2 billion on increase in revenue per piece in both the domestic and international segments. Consolidated operating profit was $3.1 billion, up 7.5% compared to the third quarter of 2021 and up 6% on an adjusted basis. Diluted earnings per share were $2.96 for the quarter. Adjusted diluted earnings per share of $2.99 were 10.3% above the same period in 2021. Good performance across divisions and market share gains across most business areas saw DSV reporting a 15% increase in revenue to $7.9 billion for the third quarter ended September 30th, 2022. In the first 9 months of the year, gross profit grew by 50%, EBIT before special items grew 75%, and adjusted free cash flow more than quadrupled compared to the same period last year. Volumes declined 3% to 376,000 tons for the third quarter from 387,000 tons in Quarter 3 of 2021. For 9 months, volume was down 11% compared to the market decline estimated around 6 to 8%. The Kuehne+Nagel Group reported a 40% increase in turnover at $30.6 billion for the first 9 months of the current financial year. Net turnover increased 39% to $9.1 billion and EBIT was $1.1 billion, up 78% for the period from January to September 2022. Yields were up 38% compared to last year. Air freight volumes were 1.7 million tons through the end of September 2022. Air logistics also maintained relatively high average yields in the third quarter of 2022, marking a significant increase on the prior year's level. Now let's take a look at the other top stories of the week. Amazon Air has signed a firm agreement to lease 10 A330-300 P2Fs from Altair, a leader in commercial aviation finance, to help fulfill its one-day delivery promise to prime customers. The aircraft will be operated for Amazon by Hawaiian Airlines. which has had A330s as a key element of its fleet since 2010. The 10 airframes are being converted from passenger aircraft to freighters by EFW. Amazon Air has been operating a fleet of Boeing aircraft, 78 at the last count, and it will be for the first time that the e-commerce giant is inducting aircraft from Airbus. The first of the A330-300 P2F aircraft is expected to join the Amazon Air fleet in late 2023. Embraer and Nordic Aviation Capital, or NAC for short, have signed a contract for up to 10 conversion slots for the E190F, E195F, with delivery starting in 2024. In May 2022, NAC and Embraer reached an agreement in principle to take up to 10 conversions. This order is now confirmed. The aircraft for conversion will come from NAC's existing E190 or E195 fleet. In July this year, NAC had signed an MOU to place their first two E190F passenger-to-freighter conversions with Astral Aviation, based in Nairobi in Kenya. The conversion to freighter will be performed at Embraer's facilities in Brazil. Singapore Airlines, or SIA for short, has successfully gone live with its new Integrated Cargo Management System, or ICMS, powered by IBS Software's iCargo cargo management platform. The ICMS is a strategic initiative to future-proof SIA's core cargo platform by eliminating disparate cargo systems and bringing in the latest cloud technology to transform cargo operations and customer delivery. Since the ICMS went live on 1st of August this year, approximately 1,500 users across sales, operations and finance industries have benefited from the system, with iCargo enabling more than 24,000 flights, creating 202,000 bookings and 192,000 airway bills, as well as processing and responding to 8.5 million incoming messages. The second phase of the implementation is planned for March 2023. And that's a wrap for this week's episode. This is your host Manjula Nair signing off and wishing you a great weekend ahead.
For the latest news on air freight, visit our website. Follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our weekly newsletter. Give our YouTube channel a visit and subscribe to access our past webinars and virtual conferences and access exclusive one-on-one interviews with global logistics leaders. Thank you for tuning in to Cargo Shots by the Strat Times, powered by Group Concorde. See you next week with a fresh roundup of cargo news makers.